Generic greetings. In a previous video of Airships, we were building the sandwich class. If we go to Airship Editor and open design, we can see that the sandwich class version 2 is interesting in terms of its execution and design. We've got some harpoon guns here which attempts to grapple a target and then bring it above this deck, which is filled with aerial charges. Now, we knew from the get-go it wasn't going to be the best, most amazing ship in the world. However, it probably does have its uses, and it certainly was interesting to build. I think the design warrants more investigation and evolution, and probably, quite frankly, I think we can just triple the size and it'll be a lot more effective. But then you're getting onto sort of just spam levels of aerial charges sort of territory, so we'll see about that one. But that's not really our concern in this episode. What I want to do in this episode is try and answer a question that somebody asked, and they said, with the grappling system, with the harpoon guns, can you move static defences? And my internal monologue was not so much words, but sort of generic noises of interest, so, I don't actually know, in all honesty. I have no idea whether or not you can, and that's what we're hopefully going to find out. Let's go to Airship Editor, and we will begin. So, obviously, we need to build it around the weapons. Now, in terms of how many we need, I don't know, because when we move over to the harpoon gun and place a couple of them here, we can see small cannon that fires a harpoon with a tether, useful for closing the distance between your ship and the target. It has a maximum range, or accurate range, of 1,100 meters. However, I know that the tether can snap, so I assume it's based on weight, but we'll have to see what happens. And here's the thing, regardless of what we make here, it's almost certainly not going to be effective as like a bomber or any sort of specific vessel to take out a static defense, but that's not why we build these things. We build them because they're fun and interesting, hopefully. So this is going to be our design. We'll have the harpoon guns at the front. If we go over to basic, we can get the corridor with ladders, and then we'll put a row like so. We will need an ammo store, so I'll place one in there. And obviously we do need to crew this as well. Now my plan is to use, in terms of the lifting system, probably large suspendium chambers, because apart from the moondusk fragment chamber, they are the best thing you can use and don't leak like these things here. So let's just go to, actually I'll place one there because we'll be using that later on. I do want to get some command and crew in here, so we'll go to probably quarters and place 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to place a bridge about there. Now the problem at the moment is that we don't have anywhere to put out fires, so let's go over to resources and to a fire extinguisher, because, oh actually we'll put a fire extinguisher, oh no, that'll probably be okay, so we can, we'll put one in between like so. I think that's okay. In terms of crew, it says we have 36 and recommended 14, so I reckon by the time we add more stuff along, we'll need more. But anyway, 1, 2, we're going to have a little gap, 3, 4, and then another gap, and we'll say coal store there and there, there and there, and then we need some sort of propulsion system. So propulsion system, large propeller, and apart from some supply hatches, we're pretty much done. So what I'm going to do is place a supply hatch above each one of these, I think, although I'm not too sure whether they go down or not. I'll just check. Let's go for probably a wooden supply hatch, because, oh yeah, they do go down, so that is acceptable. And because we can go to Crow's Nest, and, oh no, we can't place a Crow's Nest, or we could place one there, but that would be a bit dodgy, and that's not going to work either, unless I want to put the Crow's Nest there, and, well, that wouldn't work either, so place it there, perhaps, and then we've got a Crow's Nest right in the middle there. In terms of the armour, we're going to stick with probably the wooden armour. Current service ceiling is 514 meters, so it's not fantastic, but we'll have to see what we can do. We've probably over-egged it with the coal, but again, I'm not too sure. Oh, that's one thing. We haven't got anywhere to put out fires near the back of this, so that's bad. Let's go over to resources once again and place a fire extinguisher system in there, and I think we'll place one in there, and that still should connect everything up, so we're about right. Okay, oh, it needs more supply hatches as well, so there we go, it is now done. Excellent. So we will put on a bit of nameplateage, so we'll go down and say wooden nameplate. Currently it's there, what is it, the risable, no, we don't want that. We'll have this as the crane class, because the idea is it lifts stuff up, and we will save that design, and there we go. Okay, so leave combat, and we will see what we can do. So we'll go for add a building, and the smallest building that we have is the Black Citadel. It is simply 2 rifles on either side, and it will go there. So let's see if we can lift this up. I have no idea whether or not we can. Now, we do know that these buildings are they can move, so they're physically simulated. It's not just like they're locked onto this area and they cannot move. If you ram them, they will be pushed back. If you have certain things collapse, they will collapse through the ground and such. So I think this should act like any other thing. So let's just see. In fact, the only thing that really separates it is you're not allowed to place suspendium chambers on that. I'm assuming that if you could, it would happily just take off. Anyway, so we'll go over to Airship, and we're going to place the crane, and we're going to place it probably about there. Obviously, in terms of points... 2,377 points versus the enemy of 195. So they could get... And they could get 10 of this. Sorry, could they get 10 of these? They get more than 10 of these for each one of these. So, yeah, this was never going to be a decent idea for like resources and money and such. So let's just go to start the fight and immediately pause it. We want to say launch tether at target, launch there, and then that will launch. And we've got 2 tethers on, 3 tethers on. So that is now grappled onto there. That's grappled onto there. So the question is, can we just press M and go up, and will it lift it up? So let's just see, unpause, and... It did! It moved! It moved! We managed to make it move! Okay, back down again. I think the tethers just ripped off that though, so let's just try that again. And then back over to there, and... I did not expect that to work! Go further up, go further up. And, oh, drop, drop, drop! And crunch! Okay, so we've managed to lift it up a little bit, and it's dropped back down to there. And we've taken a little corner off it, and it's also on fire. So let's come back down, grappling launches again, there we go, and then back up again. Let's just see how high we can go, and oh, there you go, and... oh, this is cool. Right, okay, I did not expect this to work at all. Actually... that's a lie. I didn't know what to expect. I thought that it might be possible, but it had never been attempted. Well, I certainly haven't attempted it. Maybe it's common knowledge for other people, but I had no idea. But I'm so happy that it works. Okay, back down again then. You can see what's happening though, that the tethers are breaking, and that's a problem. So that's now grappled onto there, and oh, we've just crushed down. We'll go up to there, stay there, and just lift it up a bit. Oh, it's getting stuck on the side now. This is a problem, that it's actually stuck. We'll say go forward a little bit. Nah, that's tethering off. Okay, I think that's a good start. Let's try that again. Let's go over to add the airship and the crane class, and predictably it's placed this right above it, which is going to be a problem. We'll go to building Black Citadel once again, and then we will start the fight, and we'll say grapple, which is J, I think, and then, yeah, there's 2 grapples. Why is the third one not fired? Third one's fired, and then we'll say up and back, because I think when it goes the other way, it is a bit of a problem, and that's got some height on it now, and let's see if we can go any further. Back over to there. The higher, the better for this one. Oh my good grief, this is going to be amazing once it drops. Should we cut the tethers or go further up? We're going to go further up. Oh, there's the tethers dropped, and... oh, it actually did nothing. There's a little bit of damage, but not what I would have expected. Although, yeah, you can see it's all crunched there. So... that works. It should automatically fire the harpoon guns again, because that's what we did before, yeah, and then we're just going to go straight up, and oh yeah, see that when it's swinging like that, it's got a bit of a problem on it. Okay, so I think the issue we have, apart from the fact that it is terrible in almost every way and completely in terms of points, useless, but very fun. I think the problem is that we don't have enough harpoon guns. So we're going to double the amount of harpoon guns, and we'll connect them up like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in terms of crew, we've got 36, recommended is 33. So we'll save the design again, and we'll save that like so. And we will try that again. But remember, this is just the lightest thing we have. So we'll place the crane back in. So it's got this underwhite now, and we'll say building... Black Citadel place. Okay, so start the fight. We will say J, click, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 grapples onto it straight away. So we've got 6 ropes. So we're just going to say move up to there. And because the amount which should be better, and it was a little bit better, when it dropped there, it actually landed on the tree, which is good for our needs, because you noticed it like sort of stuck into it. It got impaled essentially from the by the tree. So we're going to come back down, and there's the grapples back on straight away. We're going to say up to there, and hopefully it won't be as harsh. It is harsh. Oh, it's sort of rocking around, but it's alright. We're going to say up to there now, and no, it's the grapples have been released. Okay, that's becoming a bit of a problem. Right, how can we fix this? because of where the grapples are, it's sort of rocking around all over the shop, and we don't want that. There's some more grapples in, and then we'll sit up to there, and it pulls it and swing it about. That's okay. It's not too bad there, but we're really getting shook around by the weight of that thing. And remember, this is the smallest thing that we have. So I think we need more engines, and we'll probably need just more suspendium. But we are now getting some height on this one, which is good. I want to bring it up as high as we possibly can. And if we drop it from this height onto a tree, it's almost certainly going to get skewered like a kebab. So there's that going up to there. And we are pretty much at the game's service ceiling. We can't really go any further because, quite frankly, the screen doesn't go that far. We are literally at the top end now. We can't go any further. So I think we will go ahead and press K and cut the tethers and... Oh, right, okay, so... It seems to be that there's a terminal velocity for these things. Right, well, let's leave that. We're going to go back into combat, and instead now what we're going to do, we'll add the crane in, now that we know this works. This is a very flat plane, isn't it? There's almost nothing here. We're going to go over to building, and we're going to place the Dark Cube version 3, because it is technically the... No, actually, which is the smallest? And we'll go for the version 3. And we'll place that in there, and we will start the fight, and once again we will grapple. So this thing is a bit bigger than the other one, and you can see immediately we've been drawn straight towards it for some reason, and now we can say up, and will it lift? It didn't lift at all. It didn't even move an inch. So that's a problem. We need more grappling systems. So there's grapples. We've got 1, 2, 3. I don't know why the others are not firing. 4, 5. And there's a 6th one we're going to fire. It's getting there. We need them all to fire, and then we will go up, and... no, it doesn't move. Okay, so we need more grapples. I'm thinking there might be another way of doing this. Oh, no, we can't do it that way. That's a shame. Open design and over to the crane again. What I was going to do is put one there and flip that round. Hang on, that's flipping the entire design. Put one this side and put one that side, so you sort of fire into each other. So this hovers over the top and then grapples from both sides. But sadly, because of the arc of fire, we cannot do that. So what we're going to do is double this again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is becoming a little bit of an issue now. Oh, hang on. Anything doesn't really matter. Just there we go. Come on. Right. Place. So we want that all the way down to there. In terms of ammo, I think we will place one in there and in there, so we can just have a better access to it. Do you want to play it right at the bottom? No, probably not right at the bottom is almost certainly a bad idea. And I think we do need some more propulsion, because you noticed it was rocking back and forwards. And there's not much I can do about that. We could put a sail on, but it would be too heavy. So we're probably going to go for a couple of propellers, actually. We'll put coal down to there. And then we'll also go over... You notice it was rocking around all over the shop as well. We're going to place some more suspendium. Now, this is going to make it, obviously, infinitely heavier, which is not ideal. But I guess the service ceiling is... Oh, look at that. For each one of these, it's only going up by a tiny amount. Each one is only putting it up by, is it 20? Not 10. Each one is, it's only by 10 each one. So quite frankly, I don't think we're going to bother with that one. I think we'll just keep, we don't need the coal store. You know what, I don't think we need anything other than what coal we've got now. And we'll try that. We'll save that design. We're going to save it as the version 2 because it is a fairly different beast. So we'll save that and we'll leave there. Back over to combat, we will add the crane version 2, which is of an interesting shape, and we'll go over to building and the Dark Cube version 3, and we'll start the fight. So obviously pressing J, click on that, and there's the shots out, and immediately I'm going to leave because we have nowhere near enough crew, so we'll sort that out first. Open design, once again, crane, and we need to put on the more crew. One there, that's overcrewed like a boss, but that is fine. Save the design once again as the version 2 there, and now it means we'll be able to fire from the get-go. So we'll say day, airships, crane, and we will say buildings, Dark Cube version 3, start the fight. Want a J, fire, and there's all of the grapples on there, and that looks That looks fairly decent. We've got a fire on the left, which is suboptimal, and we're also squishing right into this for some reason. And, oh, hang on. I don't know if you saw there. It moved. It did move a smidge there. It did move. This is good. Let's try this again. So we'll say back up to there, and it's not moving. It is not moving. I think, do you know what it is? The grapples, the harpoons, the tethers, whatever you want to call them, they're actually so strong, because we've got so many of them, that it's pulling the vessel into that, and the engines can't pull it back over. We don't have the power. Let's launch the tethers again. There's a good launch, and we've got some distance. Yes, it is actually pulling us towards it. So I think, oh, hang on, we have liftoff. So we'll go up to there, and straight away though, oh, straight away you notice that these snapped off, but what did happen was this thing. This fell down like that. That's good. Okay. We're probably not going to be able to recover that, quite frankly, because it's in this hole now, and I just don't think it's going to happen. We just don't have the arc of fire, even if we go quite far back. It's it's not too bad. It's not too bad, and it is lighter, so it might move. And it did move an inch there. Yeah, it's moving. It's rocking. So let's just go vertically straight up, and oh yeah, it did pull up, and then the tethers snapped. Okay. Again, not bad. Let's go over to Airship Editor once again, and I think we now got to the point where we are really limited on how we can, how further we can go with this. What we'd have to do really is have a lot more of these engines and sort of do that, and it's not an impossible feat. Do we want to try that? Do we want to try that? We might as well. We'll give it a go. What's the worst that could happen? That's all connected up now, and we will place a fire point in each of those there, and that should be it. Save the design. Obviously, we're not going for looks, as if that wasn't completely obvious. By the way, today's beverage is a cup of tea, and it's quite cold now. So back to combat. Airship crane version 2, which won't work because we haven't got the supply. So let's try that once more, and we need more supply hatches. So there we go, that should be us sorted. I'm trying to think of another solution. More suspendium chambers would be good. In reality, propulsion-wise, the ideal thing would be to use large propellers, like we've done now, probably. We'd go for, in terms of lift, we'd go for large suspendium chambers. Actually, no, we wouldn't. We'd substitute that with the moon dusk fragment chamber. The lift is double on that one, I believe. Large suspendium chamber lift is 5,000, where it is 10,000 on the moon dusk fragment chamber. So we could probably take those out. And we'd also use shell armor, which gives us lift for 25. We'll do that after this fight. We'll give that a go. We'll try that out. So day, and we'll give this one a try. In terms of buildings, things like that, for example, it's just totally it's impractical and just infeasible. You're not going to lift that. It's just so much bigger. We'll try. We'll give it a go. But I'm not expecting that to do anything. So J, launch tethers. There's the tethers going off, and it is pulling us towards it once again. I would have thought that the engines would have been able to handle that, but apparently not. So then we'll say move to there, and oh, the power of the engines. There we go, and crunch. Right, so it was an engine problem, and now we've got these engines. It worked. It worked much better than previous. Okay, that's excellent. That is very good. So I don't think we're going to get out of this ditch once again, but we'll give it our best shot. So we'll go back to there. There's all the tethers on there, and with it being right above, we are moving it. We are lifting that, and oh, the tethers are snapping though. So if I move up, I think it's just going to rip the rest of the tethers off. Yeah, it has. Okay. Once it's in that hole, it's pretty much done for. Okay. We're going to exit that combat, and just for laughs, let's go to Airship once again, put the crane on. Obviously, multiple cranes you could place as well and put them either side and pull, so we'll try that in a second. We'll go to building. I'm going to place the heaviest building that we have, which is this turret. And I don't think this is going to work, do you? I wouldn't say place your bets now because, quite frankly, it'll be a bit... it's just pointless. Right, we'll sit up to there. Yeah, look at that. Just ripped all the tethers straight away. It didn't work. Okay. So we're going to try a couple more things. We'll say land ship this time. We've got... we've only got really these two vessels. We'll place that there. And we'll add airship. We'll place the crane on there, and we'll see if we can do something to this one. I don't think it'll work, so we'll say grapples onto there. There goes the grapples. It's actually coming to rammers, which is an interesting tactic, and then we'll say up to there, and yeah, that just rips the tethers off. But if it was like a small tank, I think it would probably work. One last test. Airship, crane. Where's the crane? Version 2.1.2. And building, we're going to place the dark cube once again there, I think. And then start the fight. This one, we'll say move to there and flip. This one will move to there, and there we go. And what we're going to do is pincer it, so this one will be on the other side. I'm going to wait until we are right there, because I want to activate the tethers at the same time, fire the harpoons at the same time. So I'll select them all. You can see the things moving around there, and we'll press J once we've got orders for both, and fire. Right, so that is grappled. Will it take off? We're going to hit each other, which is... Oh, there we go, there we go. So we're going to say move up to there, and that's going to start lifting it, and... Nah. So, for whatever reason, this one didn't move, even though I had them connected. I think that's a bit of a misplay, that one. I want to try that again, because that's an interesting... way of doing it. So place that there, building, and start the fight. This one, move over to there and flip. This one will wait. I don't know why the other one did not move. Interesting. Probably was just out of the order range. So we're going to get these roughly parallel. There we go. So we're about the same distance. They're equidistant from that one. So waiting for these orders to go around. Ding ding. We know that we can fire the grapples. There's all the grapples on. I don't know why that one's no target available. There must be a finite amount of grapples available. Perhaps. Now that looks like everybody is ready for orders, so we're going to say up. And it does move, but yeah, because that's a spendium rock there. That's what made it stop. So yeah, okay, and that's dropped right down. So there you go. That was we'll try that one. Let's go over to Airship Editor. Open the design, although I think we'll end up redoing most of this. We're going to get rid of all of this, and then we're going to put moon dust fragments in. What do these require? It doesn't require anything, actually, the moon chamber thing. It's going to have to be one space back over. Okay, so 1, 2, and doesn't require those. What I'll do is that. And because we can, I'll place that there. And go all the way along like so. And we'll have crow's nest on top there. At the back here, it's obviously a bit of this is a hacky way of doing it. It's just to try it, you understand. Call 1, 2, 3. Can't get access to those, don't care. Although having that gap like so is not ideal, so I'll just fill it. Actually, no, I won't. I will fill it, but I'll fill it with just struts, just to connect it, because I don't want the back end shearing off. That's about right. In terms of armor, we'll use shell armor, fill, and save the design once again as version 3 this time. So save, and we're gonna give this a go. Why is that rock there? Leave. There we go. That's much better. So Airship version 3. So this is 7,000. Yeah, fine. Okay, whatever. We'll place that there. Start the fight. I wonder if we can grapple it from here. No. I've ordered the grapple, but it's not moving. Look how stable it is. It's just bobbing up a tiny amount, whereas the other one was going a lot more than that. So there's our grapples on. Because of the moon dust fragments and the armor that we've got on, this is quite stable now. And oh, look at that! There's no soft start on that. There was almost no ramp. I think everybody's just going to put in for whiplash claims now. All right, let's go back down. There's our grapples on there. It needs to be a lot smoother than it is, but I don't think it will be. So we'll say just up to there. Yeah, it's actually 2. It's actually too buoyant now. It's got no ramp up. It's like when you're trying to, tow something, and you slowly take up the tension and then pull it from there. But we're just going wham, one big pull, and it's just basically just either snaps the tethers or just makes this go all over the place. So yeah, there you go. That's not as effective as we thought it would be. Anyway, that's actually some good tethering there. We might be able to get it off the ground if we just pull up. Nah, it's too harsh, the ramp on that one. Anyway, we are going to leave it there. That has been a bit of Airships Conquer the Skies, trying out the crane. In answer to our question, can we lift buildings? Yes, you can. Is it practical? No, it's not. Not only is the lifting device generally 20 or 30 times more expensive than the static structure, it also doesn't do much damage. Even if you drop it from a great height, if at best it takes like the bottom bit out. Now, sort of in a massive hint of irony, I guess, the bigger the structure would be better because it would collapse in on itself, and it would sort of have that Death Star syndrome where you get one bit and it just goes and just goes down like you've just connected 10 row on the bottom of Tetris or something. It would just completely collapse and disappear. But the apparatus needed to move something like that would be colossal. You would have to use massive keels in order to have the weight, and it just wouldn't be practical. But that did work. I would love to pick up like a mini tank and things like that and move it around, but no, it's as a matter of interest and a sort of curious test. Success and quite fun and funny. If you've got more ideas for tests we can do or any designs you want to see, then by all means let me know in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and generic partings.